that case, first I'll introduce myself. I'm Gareth Smith, and my friends over here, we've got Steve Jolly, Ali Sheikh, and Matt Hound. And the reason we're here is because a few weeks ago we had this idea. The idea was for a game, and what we wanted to do was an MMO, something vaguely World of Warcraft-ish, but on mobile phones. And these mobile phones that are just starting to come out now, that have GPS in them, so they can tell where they are, and you can interact with people that are actually near you, rather than people that just might be anywhere. So there's a point to it being mobile. It's not just that you've got mobile access to a game that you would rather play on your PC. And then we heard about this event, and so a week and a half ago we started writing it. And I'm here to tell you about how far we've got, and what other ideas we've had along the way, and to start a conversation. So if you've got ideas, if you've got questions, all that kind of thing, jump in the middle of the talk, derail me. I've only got 10 minutes worth of content, and we've got an hour's slot. So yeah, lots of talking is good. If I get to the end of what I have to say, and none of you want to talk anymore, then we've got a whole bunch. We've got 5 devices here that can play the game. And it's a really nice day outside. We've got a GPS lock out there, so we can all go out and we can play. You can have a go of what we've got so far. And if any of you have, particularly if you have anything of this model, the N95, but if you've got anything that can run Java midlets and has a GPS on it, then you should be able to run the game on your own device, so we can do that too.
Series 16 edition devices.
No Windows Mobile?
If it supports JSR 179, then maybe.
Okay.
You can try it.
Yeah, we can have a play.
Okay.
You're going to need my password to get into here, aren't you? And then we can start doing downloading stuff. Alright, so you can get on with that then. Alright. So the concept of the game. We decided to call it Fable. We made up a funny word that we hoped wouldn't have all the URLs taken and all that kind of thing. And the first game we thought of was typical D&D. You sign up, you go to a web page, you say, I want to roll this character, I want to be a ninja or a wizard or whatever. And you get given a bunch of statistics and a start profile, and you go out into the world and you wander around and you find things. And the things are in the real world. So like you're walking around Hyde Park, you might come across interesting plants and all that kind of stuff. And if you're a wizard and you know how to mix plants together to make spells, then that's good. If you're a ninja and you're walking around Soho, you might come across like collapsed people, and you can loot their corpses and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of thing we're talking about for gathering stuff up. That game's pretty boring, so long as you're the only person playing and all you're doing is you're walking around and coming across stuff that's in the universe. I mean, it's kind of neat, but it's not going to last very long. So the key thing that we thought about, that we spent most of our time working on, was the encounter mechanism. When you come across another person in the world, in all these games, you might be able to talk to them, but you definitely have to be able to fight them. So that's what we spend most of our time working on. The mechanism, I'll talk you through the mechanism that we decided to use. So you've got a couple of people, and they're near each other. They're nearby enough that something might happen. These guys. These guys. Where's Cyclone? He's hiding over there. There we go. These two. So they see each other in the game. And the game pops up a screen asking, you can just about see that. There's a picture of one of the players there. This is a bloke with a sword going like that. That's what all our players look like at the moment. We've only implemented one player type. We don't have ninjas. We just have warriors. We don't have wizards, all that stuff. You decide what you want to do. There's a little menu down here. And in the menu options, at the moment, we just have attack and ignore. So Oh, there's our bloke with the sword. So one of our players chooses to attack. What happens immediately then is that his phone makes a noise. The noise that his phone is making right now is a sort of swordy noise. Sort of. We've got another noise, which I'm not going to ask you to make happen because it's random. Your phone might randomly make one of a number of noises. At the moment we have two. We've got a swordy noise, which means he's attacking him physically with weapons, and we've got a more magical noise, which means he's attacking him with magic. Steve just attacked Matt. Matt's seeing a screen that looks a little bit like this. He's got to defend himself from Steve's attack. What we've got here is a bunch of spells and a bunch of physical weapons. If Steve's attacking with a physical weapon, a spell's going to be too slow. If Steve's attacking with magic, a physical weapon's not going to do anything. You've got to defend like with like. So he gets to choose his manner of his defense. And if he chooses the right thing, then he'll survive the attack. If he chooses the wrong thing, then he'll get some hit points knocked off it. What happened in this case? In this case, our chap on the right hit. He hit him with an energy bolt, not the sword that Steve got, and knocked some damage off Sai and got himself some experience. But he's not dead yet, so you can keep fighting. This kind of loop keeps going so long as you're in proximity. If you want to stop fighting, you have to either die or get away. Yeah? So you've got to physically get away, or turn your phone off. You know, you can always check. But that's the idea. It's real world stuff. There's lots of other stuff that we can graft on top of this. You can have if you've got real wizards in the game, which we don't at the moment. We just have warriors. Then they can cast spells beforehand to give themselves an edge if they're anticipating combat and all that kind of stuff. We started thinking what else we might be able to do with this stuff. We've got a framework that we can use to play a fantasy game. Let me talk a little bit about the framework. I'm leading up to this slide here. The way this works is we've got a client which is totally done. We've got a whole load of images cached on the client, images like a warrior and pictures of firebolts and all that kind of stuff. And that's it, you know. We've got a server. The server knows who all the clients are, what the client IDs are. It's got a database of all the people that play the game. It's got a database of all the stuff that is located in the universe, like items that are dropped in Hyde Park or in Soho. And it's got a non-persistent data structure for where people are, because people move around. If the server goes down, we want the people locations to disappear. So that's stored in memory. All that the phone knows how to do is, on a regular clock, it'll send a message to the server saying, here I am, I'm in this place. Every so often the server might send a message to it saying, display this on your screen, using the images that you've got and the text you know how to manipulate. And one of the things that it can ask it to display is a question with a set of possible answers.